If you're a job seeker who recently started your job search and you've figured out the types of positions that you're planning on applying for, then watch this video to make sure you put your social media to work for you before you start applying for jobs. My name's Brent, I own the Vancouver Express Employment Professionals office, and we believe that there are 10 key steps that you should consider in your job search. Within each of these steps are different paths, choices, and actions that you can take, and they all depend on your personal situation and circumstances. In our previous videos, we discussed some of the points that we think you should consider on how to determine your needs at the very start of the search. In some of our coming videos, we're going to talk about step 2 in the process, which is social media and what to consider with your application strategy. Some of these aspects will be critical to help you navigate the path and your next steps, and of course, we'll also discuss what the companies and hiring managers consider when they're hiring someone in your position and what you'll need to do to overcome some of the obstacles or challenges you might face. When it comes to social media, you want to create or update your LinkedIn and be sure to clean up your social media footprint. For LinkedIn, I have 8 points for you to consider. First is you should view and treat your LinkedIn profile like it's a second resume. It's one of the first places you can demonstrate the type of employee that you are or that you're going to be. Are you going to do the bare minimum, or are you going to build a strong foundation and continue to invest and develop your profile? Make sure that you update your experience, your professional qualifications, any certifications you may have, or any related pieces that add value. 2 is one often overlooked aspect of LinkedIn, which is the banner. Create a personalized banner, as the default banner is generic and can be perceived as boring. An eye-catching or professional banner can help your profile stand out and help you be remembered. Point 3 is your profile photo. Not everyone can afford a professional headshot, and you don't necessarily need one. Everyone has the ability to dress up and have a friend, family member, or colleague snap a professional looking photo from our phones. Make sure not to have a questionable, offensive, or provocative photo. You want to aim for professional. 4 is to focus on your summary. The summary statement is the first thing a recruiter or hiring manager reads when they land on your profile. You're summarizing who you are professionally and explaining to someone why they should hire you. Unlike your resume, you've got more space to summarize your professional accomplishments, and more importantly, the LinkedIn summary is searchable through keywords, which means a well-written and optimized summary will help your profile appear more often. 5 is build your skills and endorsements. The skills and endorsements section of your profile help recruiters and hiring managers sort and filter through candidates. Recruiters can use these filters to search for terms such as inbound marketing and only see profiles that mention that particular skill. It's not only enough to claim that you have that skill though, and this is where endorsements come in. You can have someone in your network say that you have that particular skill and present it on your profile as social proof that they've seen you demonstrate it. 6 is asking for recommendations. Fellow professionals can write recommendations which go a long way in optimizing your profile. Recommendations may sound similar to an endorsement, but they really don't mean the same thing. In most cases, a recommendation will carry far more weight than an endorsement would. You have to ask someone in your network to write a unique and personalized statement for you based on your experience with them. There are templates available, but a recommendation will take time and effort more so than checking a box. Because of the effort that it asks for and the person that creates the recommendation, they tend to carry more weight than the skills and endorsements. 7 is a few profile updates can go a long way. Optimizing your LinkedIn profile means making a lot of major and minor tweaks, but you don't have to do it all at once. If you start small and commit every week, you'll find yourself with a well-optimized profile in no time. Spend the time on each position you've had, ensure the dates are accurate, add education or volunteering, and continue to add and update as often as you can. My last tip for LinkedIn is to search anyone well-known or well-respected in your field. Take a look at several profiles and pick the things that you like and don't like. Mirror what you find appealing and don't make the same mistakes as others whose profiles just don't stand out. Outside of LinkedIn, it's important to clean up your social media profiles. Ideally, you have nothing to hide or worry, yet on Facebook, Twitter, and other social media pages, be sure to audit your profiles and make sure that you present yourself in the best way possible. Anything negative, unprofessional, or potentially illegal should be deleted or made private. Use your best judgment or err on the side of caution and remove these posts. Social media can be lighthearted, but it's also important to portray yourself in the most positive and professional light possible. Use your social media profiles to create a convincing image of yourself as a very likable and hireable employee. Review your existing social media accounts with a fine-tooth comb and make sure they are employer appropriate. Remember, employers and recruiters use social media to screen potential applicants. After you've done some cleanup or you've created a new profile, Google yourself and see what comes up. Enter your name and varying versions of it, including nicknames or misspellings, and see what you'll find. If you find anything egregious, try to fix the issue before a potential employer spots it. That way you'll hopefully have something professional and relevant pop up as soon as an employer Googles your name. With your profiles polished and ready to go, it's time to start using them to connect with a new job. However, you have to use social media carefully and professionally to make a great impression. If you're currently employed, double and triple check your privacy settings and make sure you aren't letting your current employer know that you're actively seeking a new position. Make sure notifications are turned off for profile updates, otherwise LinkedIn and other social sites will broadcast every change that you make. Lastly, I've included a few social media job search mistakes to avoid. First is when things don't add up. While your social media profiles don't have to be a carbon copy of your resume, they shouldn't be so different that they raise red flags. For example, if your LinkedIn profile mentions that you're an expert audit accountant, but your posts talk about your interior design skill, a recruiter or hiring manager may think that you're overstating your qualifications or not necessarily interested in your field. 2 is not to let your page go stale. Being active is an important part of social media, especially in a job search. Engage with companies, like posts, and share helpful info. 3 is don't go over the top either. It's possible to be annoying by posting too much or engaging too much. Don't retweet the same types of posts every day, don't like every single post that a company makes, and don't hound or bug hiring managers. 4 is don't ask everyone for a recommendation. While it's always a good idea to have referrals that attest to your stellar work and work ethic, you don't need to have dozens of recommendations to improve your presence. If they happen organically, that's fantastic, but just be mindful that you're not overdoing it. If you do reach out to somebody asking for recommendation, put the time in to personalize the request and make sure that they're going to give you a really positive review. The bottom line is to turn your social media into a strength instead of a liability. It can hurt your job search or help it. It can be an obstacle on the way to your desired career, but it doesn't have to be. In fact, a good social media profile can increase your chances of getting hired. Besides, even your present employer may be checking your social profile from time to time and dislike something they see. For these reasons, always be mindful of what you post and where you comment and who you follow. Thanks again for tuning in. I really hope this helps. If you'd like more information on Express or more help through your job search, please visit our website, our Facebook, or our LinkedIn profiles, which are all linked below, and feel free to share these resources with anybody you think that we might be able to help.